everybody. It's your friend Rick. It is the 20th day of December in the year of 2017. Okay, and if you would like to make contact with me because you are interested in making a donation, but please contact me first before sending anything, because you would like to receive the paperwork, which you will edit yourself, add your own information that's important, and file it and get copies stamped by the clerk, and you're officially in the game. You're officially getting the ball rolling. Okay, and you do that by sending me an email at Rick, R-I-C-K 0327 at me.com. Okay, and I've been in a year now. I have over 5,000 subscribers now, without doing any advertising. You will not see me on Facebook. I'm not on any other video service or whatever like this. It's just strictly Rick and YouTube. And that happened because a lot of people identify with me. I believe people who listen to me realize that I'm not lying. I'm a regular guy. If you don't like me, or not everybody likes me. That's it's just the way life is. Sometimes I may come across like I get a little sensitive sometimes when I get somebody effing with me. And the reason that is because I'm not sensitive. I feel some people, they are not in the position to critique me for that critique. Now, I'm not right all the time. I'm usually good in a video making one or two mistakes, but nonsense mistakes. I'll say, yeah, it's 2013. Yeah, I know it's 2017. That's a nothing mistake. It's nothing that's going to cause anybody. I don't give you information that's not going to help you in this quest to be free from these people. All right, but that's human nature. There's people out there just like to correct people. There's people in the comment section who love showing everybody how intelligent they are because they watch some other video, and I call those people the Captain Obvious people. They love to show everybody how intelligent they are. Okay, and that's the reason why I approve the comments. So if you make a comment, you don't see it right away. It's because I approve the comments. It's my channel. All right, I do not have any obligation, all right, to answer anybody's comment. I don't have any obligation to help anybody. I don't have any obligation to answer anybody's email. All right, this is strictly voluntary on my end. Now, if you send me a donation for the paperwork, I am obligated to help you. Okay, I will never take your money. I'll never take your donation and leave you high and dry. At some point, I got to cut the apron strings, all right? Because at the end of the day, you guys are going to be in the court without me, and it's important that you learn this stuff. That's a factor. I had a guy, and I told the guy in the email, I go, well, there are different factors. He's like, well, what are these factors? I go, well, your knowledge of the law is a factor. You have to know these things. You have to learn as much as possible. All right? And a lot of people have used my paperwork. They go to court, and these these judges and fake judges, one of the first things they do is they try and trip you up. Well, I don't understand. What are you trying to do? And then the people are like, you have to have an idea what you're doing. That's the reason why I make videos as well. I tell you what to say. You have to tell the court that you're entitled to due process. And due process requires that the petitioner, who has the burden of proof, please remember that, guys. The petitioner has the burden of proof. And the burden of proof is evidence of some type of injury in fact, which gives the petitioner standing, and then it gives the court jurisdiction. Now, if you want to get into this subject matter jurisdiction is the subject if you're in the right court. Right? Many of you should not be in the child support court if you're divorced. Okay? If you have a divorce agreement, which is a contract, you do not belong in a court of limited jurisdiction, a child support court, because they do not have law and equity jurisdiction. But that's up to you to investigate. Okay? So you should always check out the court that you're in. Go on the internet, on Google, and look up your state constitution. And in the state constitution, besides looking at the Bill of Rights or whatever they call them, look up the jurisdiction of the courts. All right? Whatever section that is. And that's where you'll learn the jurisdiction of the court that you're in. Many of you are in the wrong court. And that's one of the affidavits that I have you guys give when you first start. I have an email folder called affidavits filed before going to court. And the reason we do that is because we get the court, we're letting the court know we have an idea what's going on. Most people would go into child support, even with the lawyer is not going to do this for you. These lawyers are really, really rotten people, all right? And they're not there to help you. They're there to help the court. They have an obligation to the court. They're officers of the court. That means they have an obligation to the court first and the state first, not you. Their real purpose there is to maneuver you into doing what the court wants, and doing that while taking your money. That's the reason why you have to give them money up front. Okay? And they won't give you a straight answer. All right? And that's why it's important that you do your own research. And if you're watching my channel, that's a good start. Okay? Anyway, so I have you do a change of venue affidavit, because we want you in a court of record. What they do is they move you in the wrong court to deny you of your constitutional guarantees. All right? Under the Fifth Amendment, you cannot be deprived of life, liberty, or property unless by a trial by jury. Okay? That's a guarantee. All right? And so they move you into one of these legislative courts in the state where they do not give you a trial by jury. And they'll come out and tell you that. And that's when it's up to you to object. You should object all the time. Objection. Demand clarification of evidence of jurisdiction. All right? That's what you have to do. And by doing that in the beginning, you're covering yourself down the road when it's time to file an appeal. All right? Most people don't go that far. what they do is, I was watching Congress, and a congressman from California, his name is Darrell Issa, and he's talking to the head of the IRS and asking the head of one of the heads of IRS if what's their policy on wage asset forfeitures. What they do is, and this is the same exact thing they're doing to us, and the way he worded it was great. He was like, do you realize that they're seizing assets without the due process? And then what he said is exactly what we have to do. Then he goes, then people have to sue to get their property back. That's what we're doing. By filing the right paperwork, we're putting ourselves in a situation that we did everything we were supposed to do on our end. And then when they refuse to comply and acknowledge that they're depriving you of your rights and your property without due process, okay, you've exhausted remedies. Then the next move is, well, one of the moves is filing a writ of mandamus, or a writ of mandate in California. And what a writ of mandamus is you do it in conjunction with a writ of certiorari, which is spelled CERTIRARI. And what it is it's a writ of certiorari, which is a judicial review. You have the court judicially review the facts that you're laying out to the court in this petition of writ of habeas corpus, writ of mandamus, with the writ of certiorari and writ of prohibition. All right, well, this is the way it goes. You want the court to judicially review, all right, writ of certiorari. Then you demand that the respondent, the court have the court compel, order the respondent, which could be the child support agency, could be your employer, it could be the respondent with the, you're demanding by writ of mandamus the court to compel them to bring forth the evidence that gave the court jurisdiction to issue that judgment, or to compel the child support agency to provide proof of a warrant, proof of a judgment by peers, some type of order with a signature by a judge, preferably. Okay? And what happens is they don't do that if you ask them to. That's why you needed a court to intervene. And then, when all of those facts have been presented, in the same petition, a writ of prohibition prohibiting the acts that they committed against you. So, the judge, you say you're compelling the judge to show evidence of jurisdiction. When that cannot be compelled, then you're demanding the court to prohibit the judge order from you're going to demand that the order is vacated, okay? Or you're prohibiting the child support agency from any further collection practices, okay? And you could do that retroactively. You can go back to the date of the petition. And the petition I'm talking about is the date of the petition filed against you, okay? Remember, this is something important for everybody to remember. The petitioner has the burden of proof. Remember, you are the defendant, respondent. You have the right to remain silent. not just in criminal matters, civil matters. You cannot be compelled to give testimony against yourself. You cannot be compelled to provide the court evidence that could be used against you. All right, what is that? Well, don't they have you fill out these financial disclosure forms? Yes. Don't they ask you questions in the court and you start yapping away? Well, that stuff's used against you. The best thing you could do is keep your mouth shut and file the paperwork before going to court. And then when you get there, you tell the court, the respondent does not have the burden of proof of proving his innocence. The petitioner has the burden of proof of proving that I caused some type of injury. In fact, remember that the court must provide you the nature and the cause of the proceedings. And the nature and the cause of the proceedings, okay, the nature is the subject. They're demanding that you pay child support. All right, but what caused them to do that? Were you not paying support? And even if you weren't, what caused them to bring an action in court? Is the child starving because of your because of your actions? But they claim that this case law, Supreme Court case law, Blessing versus Freestone. There's also a Federal Court of Appeals, We Hunt versus Ledbetter, another good case law that says that the state benefits from child support. All right? The state benefits. So that means it's really not child support. All right? It's really welfare recoupment. Right? And right there, I'm going to end it there. All right? It's a lot of information. Write it down. All right? A lot of you guys, all right, you got to notice, I just gave you the information there. All right? The petitioner has the burden of proof. Keep your mouth shut. File your own your own motions before you get there. Okay? And get them on the defensive. And then, when you get there, you could just say, I filed paperwork. Where is the court's response? Where are the decisions? Where is the evidence filed? Where are the evidence introduced against me? And if there's no evidence, the court must dismiss this matter immediately. Okay? All right, guys. I hope you learned a little something. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow, I believe, on writ of habeas corpus. Very important. I'll talk to you guys later.